Hello? Hello? Good morning. Welcome to the second day of the CCTV surveillance training. This training has been brought to you by CCTV, West Africa. We started a series of the CCTV surveillance system yesterday, and we hope to conclude with some few informations about the configurations you can have on the application, both the antivirus and the CK biosecurity. Based on that, we will be looking at how to make use of the local configuration using the antivirus. And, as asked yesterday about the about multiple locations, and, how to manage different cameras from multiple locations. We'll show you, inform you about the ZK biosecurity visitor management video management mode, which can be used to manage cameras. Like I said yesterday, it has some limitations, some number of cameras it can display at the moment, but that is being worked on. Work is in progress to increase the number of cameras to display on the screen. Right, we just go straight to the business of the day. We're going to look at the video management system that's the antivirus 2.0. What does the antivirus 2.0 have? So the antivirus 2.0 is a video management system, professional software for central management of the front-end network monitoring devices. You can add up your NVR, your DVR, your IPC systems, MDI and NDI devices. It's just an application that you can use to manage your local setup for the CCTV cameras. So part of the things you can do, you can view real time, you can do video playback. We spoke about the EMAP, where you can create a simulation of your setup, layout of your installation, positions where you actually installed some specific cameras, and if they have issues, you can know from the EMAP you designed. Also, you can do alarm linkage, decoding on the wall. You can display on the wall if you want to use the display wall feature. Also supports web access and mobile phone client access. So we'll walk you through the installation, how antivirus 2.0 is installed, and the system hardware requirement that is required for this. So also antivirus 2.0 currently supports the ZKTeco protocols, OMVIV, ZKTeco-P, and the P2P functions. Like I said yesterday, the P2P function has been much more simplified. All you need to do is just scan, register on your mobile app on your phone, and you scan the QR code of the device, and you are good to go. So for the system requirements, you need a CPU with high specifications. Based on the number of cameras or NVRs or devices you need to connect to your application, you need a more rugged PC to accommodate the number of cameras and resources required. So for the minimum is for the CPU, you have the Intel Core i5 6500 running at a speed of 2.6 gigahertz, 4 gig RAM or above. You have the Intel card, video card, also the network card. You have gigabit Ethernet ports or above. You have that on the server. Also, you need a DDR, DVD-ROM drive. So, hard disk required minimum is 250 gig or more. Also, you need a network switch if because your system is going to be on the same LAN, the server is going to be on the same LAN with your NVR to the actual. Software requirements you can install on server 2003, server 2008, Windows XP if you are still using that. I hope you can upgrade to Windows 10. We have Windows 7, 8, and also there are some vital files that you might have to install along with it. That's the Microsoft Visual C++ 2010 86 setup. During the installation, this will pop up and you might have to install it. Okay, so when you download your app, the Antivirus 2.0, yesterday someone was asking or making requests on how to download from the website. So for you to download on the website, you might have to register and create an account for yourself on the website for you to access the download portal. First, you visit zkteco.com and you search for the file you want to download or the software you want to download under this search field. Once you search, type in your the name of the file, you press the enter button. After the enter button, you see the file you want to download. Once you click on it, it will take you to the registration page if you have not registered. So you might have to fill all the necessary information and submit your request. Upon that, you get acknowledgement email if you have typed in your right email. So once you get that, you open the email and activate your account, and there you can start downloading numerous resources available on the website. So once you have downloaded the setup file, you double click on the setup file and you start the installation. This manual will be shared because it's like a setup manual that gives you information about everything. This has actually been prepared for us to have. So you start by setting the parts that you want to install. By default, you see it installed in the C drive. Then you create, it will create a desktop app icon for you. By default, after the installation, the password is 123456. The initial username is admin. You can actually create another user account which with privileges that you can log in with. Okay, once you launch the app, this is how the front screen looks like. So you have the preview, the playback, the EMAP, the decoder. That's like a TV wall. You want to view all the channels on the screen to full screen. Alarm linkage, logs of events as maybe you have log events that are happening, motion detection, and every other errors that could, or notifications that could pop up on the application. You can add your device, you can do users management, you can create map configuration, alarm configuration, local configuration. First, there's one important information. If you look at the right top corner, that's the number 1 arrow. This displays your PC information. When the application is running, you can easily see the PC usage and the CPU usage of the application on your system. So if your system is, if the CPU usage is hitting above 50%, then you need an upgrade to quickly run that down. The memory also, once it's going beyond 60%, something has to be done, because with time it starts saving. I mean, your PC may need to be upgraded in order for it to accommodate number of cameras. So an optimum functionality, once you click a button and you want it to respond on time, you need to make sure that your PC. So you can see this up on the right top corner of your screen when you launch the Antabis. So this will display the information as the application is using up the system resources. Okay, at the left top corner, you have the control panel. Here, you can click the control panel to do 1 or 2 configurations around that. So display the number 1 displays the current user rights, current time, consumption of CPU memory, and real time. Time on the of your system that will probably be synced with the cameras. So at the left bottom corner, you have the real-time alarm on the PC, so you could easily get alarm and also event of messages. When you double-click on the alarm message to open, you see information about which channel you need to view and access as the alarm is working. The third one is the function toolbar. You can play the alarm here and also close the sound and open the sound. So I would expect that maybe by today you can download this app and see these features as it works. But we're going to show you an overview of how the application works. Also, after this first introduction, we'll show you the how you can go about adding up your devices. Okay, so look at the device management. How do you add a device? So like I said, the manual has been developed just for us to have every questions answered. So how to manage the Antabis application is very important, and this has been simplified for us, and we might not have to stay long on this class because the information needed is right there, but we'll run through this together to see how easily this for some of us who might not have time to quickly go through the manual when it's sent. At least you have 1 or 2 things to pick out from this class. Okay, you can add the device. You click on device management on the main interface, and it displays relevant information on all devices that you need to add. So once you add a device, every other configuration needed would configure as well. This is how the homepage looks like. Unlike any other application that might not show you the information of your PC, here, the more cameras you add, the more information. You can also have the option of searching for devices that are already on the network. So you can get that as well. Here you can do a search of the cameras if you already connected the cameras to the network. So you can get that up as well. So here, if you do a search, if all the devices you have installed are all ZK Telco, you select the protocol. If they are all ZK Telco, by default, you will see them displayed. If it's OnVIF, if you are having an OnVIF enabled third-party camera, you can also see it here and configure to add as well. So same thing as the ZK Telco P protocol and the P2P protocol as well. Okay, the devices displayed in gray are those devices that have been added to the list. So if you click on the IP address to sort accordingly to the IP address of the devices. So you can, number 4 is what is being talked about. If the device is grayed out, means the device has been added to the device list. So if it's not grayed out, it means it's a device that has not been added. So you might have to add it. So once you click a device that has not been added, you get this, you fill this information around it, and you set up the camera on the application. So for devices using the OnVIF protocol, the password can't be retrieved and the password of the device needs to be manually filled in. So you need to, say for HIK camera, that most, before you can go ahead, you have to put the password. In fact, all cameras can be created on the all cameras can be, you have the password. You must create the account for that camera before you can start viewing. So if you have the password of that camera, when you are adding up into the ZK interface, you must input the password, most especially for third parties. But for ZK Telco devices, it will be discovered. So how to add a decoder is switch to the decoder interface. This interface, which is similar to that of adding a device, displays all decoders. In this case, called cameras. We call the cameras, and you can add them to the server, and the online and offline status of the cameras will also be displayed. So it's almost similar to how you can add a device as well. So if you have, say let's talk about the channel group. If you have a set of cameras that you want to group at once, just like you can group a particular number of, you can group your users, you can do the same thing for the cameras. You can put the camera together under one group, and you want to view the group. Once you click the group, the cameras in this group will be displayed. So you can also configure that. That means you have to create the group name and also add the cameras you want to it. So layout of cameras that you have created. Maybe you have 4 cameras, and you have a way you want to see, okay, from one point to another, the way you are going to on the channels, the way you want to see it on the screen. You want to see camera 1 on channel 1, you want to see camera 4 on channel 2. So you can create and save a layout such that once you come, you click on that layout, it displays the camera the way you want it. So that functionality is also available. You can also choose multiple view depending on how you want it. And if you want to store, since the application is installed um, on a PC, Windows PC, you can also create a storage for it as well, so that you can use to, or you can record. Yes, you might be recording on the NVR for some, for backup purposes. You can also record on the server as well. Okay, so these are recording schedules that you can create for a particular camera. You can set up the recording time and number of days. But for a little tip to how to manage your storage um, capacity and have is to actually enable motion detection. You except if you have enough storage space and you want to record for 24 hours, even if there is no motion, even if there is no motion around the cameras, you still want to record. But to store, to save the space, what you need to do is to create a motion detection to meaning that the cameras will only record footages that comes across its path. So you only have cameras recording on motion detection, so you can save space around the solution. The manual is actually self-explanatory. All you need to do, like I said, just download the application and go through it. It's just a 56 pages that has been put together for make installation easier. Everything you need about it is in the manual. So however, if you have any challenges, you can still get back to us. So for the preview, you have added your cameras, you've installed the software, you've added your cameras, and you need to view the screen at the same time. You can do this from the preview. Click on the preview, and you can have that up and running. Just a second, I would want to see if I can show us one of the setup that we have here already. Want to see if we can bring up one of the ones we've set up. If you click a camera, it will display on the screen for you to see. So if you double click, you might when it's on, you will be putting off the camera. So depending on the stream, either the main stream or the secondary stream, you can select which one you're actually going to use. You have the option of open all streams, as in opening all the cameras at the same time. Once you click open all stream, or you open all the maximum number of channels that can be displayed at a go. So you have also the option of closing all the preview. You can do open record, you can do open intercom and the device. So the preview function has for the PTZ cameras, you can switch to informations, other functions that you can use. And you can actually snap a picture from it. Maybe you want to take a snapshot from the application. You can do that. You can switch the window screen to full screen, or you can collapse. It. So you can also do, you can close all preview windows opened presently, or you can at the part, you can also set when it can come up as well. So depending on the functions you're looking for, you can have them up here at the same time to work for you. Share your screen. So just, I would want to show you how the application looks like. So I'll have my colleague share his screen so we can see. So all what we've been talking about. Um, let's start from CPU usage. You can see based on the years that I've added on this PC, if I've checked my specification, I will know that this PC is actually not ready for use on this based on what my outcome, and we will we have to now upgrade the system. So as you can see, the CPU usage is already hitting 100, which is not good for the CPU health. So if you're going to set up yours, you must make sure that you have an increased, upgraded system and more efficient PC specifications before you can start. So if I click the preview, so as you can see, this is our experience center. Right. So I want to display more information. Let me see if I can display more cameras. I'm trying to minimize the number of cameras that I have because of the CPU consumption rate. I'm actually using an NVR in this case. So the NVR I'm using is having PoE ports. So the cameras I'm actually using are IP cameras, and you can connect directly using a network cable. You can connect directly using a Cat6 cable. So I don't have to start running. I have a PoE switch at the back of behind the NVR, so it makes the job much more easier. So I'm actually previewing the cameras that I've installed at the experience center. So that's why you can see this. It's important. I need to show you how this works. So I have a long list of cameras that I've added the NVRs and the DVRs. So as you can see, DVR. So, like I said, your CPU must be running, must be the one with higher configurations. Otherwise, you might have it hanging. So just for testing, we just make do with these two cameras that we have here. So that's, we'll come back to this, but let's go over to the previous slide. As you can see, these are IP cameras and they are very, very sharp. These cameras are actually 5 MP cameras. So what you pay for is what you get. Let's stop. Okay. Right, back to the manual. So it was important. I needed to bring that up for us to see, not just reading and reading. Sometimes it's important to bring it up for us to see the live view of what we are actually looking at. So it's also, the application also has the PTZ control function. If you're getting the PTZ cameras, you can operate from the application. You do not need a joystick, so you have this also embedded into the system. So you can set the brightness and the contrast of your system. You can do digital zoom if the type of cameras you are getting is PTZ cameras, you can zoom in and out. So depending on the type of camera you are getting, the specifications, the zoom power, the distance cover, it can cover, and also the type of camera to install, type of area. If you have a narrow path, you can install the bullets. If you have a wide, if you need to cover a wider angle, you have to use the dome because it covers a wider angle in preview. So you can also do video playback. It has a video playback function. You can select the video playback by the dates. You can see dates that it's recorded and the dates that you cannot record. You can check the alarm reports and all that. So we've taken time to develop this manual, and that's why we might not spend enough time looking at it, because we want you to based because of the time we have, you have to check this. You have to get this information. Yes, this solution can do this, a solution can do this. How to now deploy is what is important. So that's why we've taken our time to really come up with this manual and work around it easily, even with little or no supervision. So downloading the app and trying it out is was, like we said yesterday, the app is free. You can work with it, you can test your own cameras on it and see how it works. So for I spoke about the map part yesterday. So this is what it looks like, having having a kind of drawing showing the area and the type of cameras that you have installed. So if one camera is actually down from the map, you can easily indicate by looking and say, okay, this is where the position of the faulty camera is. So you can get the EMAP under the map management and have configure that. So if you need to set up a TV wall, say you have a large screen and then you want to move all the camera, you want to display the cameras on the large screen, you need to now use the decoder configuration. So the decoder configuration will show you ways on how to configure a video wall. So you can add and extend your screen to. So what you have is just going to be the cameras displaying on the screen. So how to do that, the steps guide are also part. So the layouts, which camera comes before which cameras also can also be created as well. So you can find that under the decoder module. So I want to quickly run through the mobile app, because that's another important aspect that we're looking at. Every other thing that you need to know are already in the manual. So questions asked yesterday that which are the information list of products and how to get them. So I have also, I'm going to share with us the I'm going to share with us the steps, the link that we will use to access all the new products. There, like I said yesterday, there are new products, so you need the link. I'm going to do that today, so you can start checking out the cameras as you want. So the application is has everything that you would want in a solution. The ZK Biosecurity tool is another application that I think we can also look at. So it's important that this is it's important that we have this information shared for all our partners to get exactly what we are talking about. So for the mobile app, I want us to try it out at our different time. So we would you can download this interface from the ZK website, download it and try to read the manual and get the mobile app and also read up that as well. Then if you have a camera to test with, you can check the functionality since it's compatible with third-party camera. So I want to switch on to the video so that we can look at one or two functionalities that we have. Okay, please can you switch to the video now? I'm going to turn off my own share as well. It's important for us to hear. As I've connected and it does too. But if you look at the IP address on the all I need is just one IP. I can assign IP address on that camera viewing what I want to view. Unlike you having like 20 deep cameras and you have 20 IP addresses on the network and you want to add all at the network at the same time. So with just one, I can connect cameras directly to the PoE port of the MVR and it will auto assign an IP for it if it is a ZK Telco camera. So that has to be important, noted. If it's a ZK Telco camera, it makes the job much more easier. Um, as part of the setup, sometimes you just have to make sure everything works without issue. So trying to bring up the system that we're using. Add more cameras. Okay, like I said, some of our classes will require practical presentations, and sometimes the internet might not be the best medium to do that. It requires that we need to get work around getting us to calm down. We are already working on that to align with informations around the COVID-19 situations. This can be faster than what we are actually delivering now. But I said the information has actually been shared to us, the manuals, the videos of training, download links, everything. The application is free. You can on your own system check it out and see how it works. Right now, I think internet is really not helping issues. So I'm trying to call up the camera to display so that we can go ahead and having some challenge around that. So I know there are going to be questions on between yesterday and today. So, I don't know. I think the link has been shared. We'll just take questions from this, and then we'll quickly distribute the information and the manuals to us for us to see, and also to inform us about the test tomorrow. We want to make sure everybody gets it. Please, if you get the assessment test email, we want you to just reply us immediately for us to know that everybody is going to be part of the test tomorrow. So questions around the functionality of the antivirus. If even after this class, if you have more questions around it, after going through the software itself, you can call us and get back to us on how to assist you. So I already seen some questions flying in. Maybe I'll just take the first 3 questions in the Q&A section. Mr. Akimboro Akiyele said, does it need to get third-party license before adding home VIF cameras that are not Z-capable? Once your camera is home VIF compliant, you can add it up to the software. So, but you must have a password to your camera before you can add it, because it's not default as the Z-capable cameras. So your camera must be only compliant because the DVR or the NVR, I mean the NVR are only compliant for you to add it up to the software. So Mr. Martino, can we have the manual sent to me after the training? Sure, you're going to get the manual immediately because the manual, like I said, is self-explanatory. The application is free. You can download it. Also download the mobile app and you can start testing as soon as possible. Yes, we are recording this as well. So I've just been informed that the link for yesterday and today will be sent today. So let's expect to get that. So the link for yesterday and today will be sent today, so you can have that. You will surely get the manuals of this software. Mr. Benjamin, please, I have not got the assessment email. So okay, like I said, okay, you can get we'll get the email and then we expect you to do us email back to be sure we all have that already. Maximum, like I said when I started yesterday, maximum cameras that you have that we have on the Antabis is 64 at the moment. Our R&D team are actually working on how that can be increased to accommodate more cameras. I hope I answered that from Mr. Wishala. Mr. Ikechukwu, please highlight more on how to create the password. If you install the application, it comes with a default username and password. Username is admin. Default password is 123456. So if you want to change that, you can log. You have to go into the application to change the password of your choice. Yes, I can share the link right away. Just in. Click on the chat session, you will find the link. Hello, I hope you can hear me. Someone said he can't hear me. Hello? Mr. Kenroko can still hear me. So I've shared click on the chat. Click on the chat you'll find a link where you can download the antivirus setup and the manual as well. Okay, so since we've taken questions from the Q&A, so we have some hands. We have some hands raised as well. So let's take questions from the hands raised. Hello, hello, Mr. Femi. Hello, good morning, sir. I see Mr. Hassan.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Hassan. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Yes, what I wanted to ask was that can the software be used on the same network with an MVR? Maybe let's say we have an MVR, then I can use the software as a backup, because I know some MVRs you can access it via browsers. So I was just thinking whether that's possible.
Yes. If you look at your screen now,
yes.
Look at your screen.
Yes, I'm looking at it.
I'm trying to call it up. So you can actually have an MVR on the same network where you have this application. So you can now add the NVR to the application and you see every camera in the NVR as
well. Okay, thank you very much.
So trying to come up.
That's all. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Sam.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. I want to ask for the decade CCTV. I want to ask: is it possible for you to? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
All right. Is it possible?
Hear you,
when for instance, if you look at some of these cameras, will have like the high K, HIK, and the likes. If you plug in all the cameras, for instance, if I'm having like 16 IP cameras connected, what is your default IP address? That is one. Then
what's
two, if you have
I didn't get that,
sir. IP address,
what's the default IP?
What's the default IP address? Yes.
Of the cameras?
Yes.
Okay. What's the second question?
And the second question is, if you now have like 16 cameras connected online already from the app, is there a way you can, some of them have this search tool and the like. Is there a way you can edit the IP addresses? Because I know definitely all of them are going to be the same. Instead of you doing it one after the other, then you can just do it sequentially. Like you run the six. For instance, you can say, okay, give me an IP range from 1 to 16. So it automatically changes all the cameras. Is it possible on your platform?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Samuel. The first question, all the cameras do have a default IP, and the default IP for ZK camera now is 192.168.1.86. So you can actually search for all ZK cameras on the network. Now I said 192.168.1.86. 192.168.1.86. Yes, 192.168.1.86. 86.
86. Okay. All right.
Okay. So let me write that. You can check in the chat as well. 192.168.86. That's the default IP.
Okay.
So for the second question, once you add up the cameras on the network, even if they have the same IP, you can use the application to search and add, and then you can modify the IP before you add. Then on the second option, if you are having IP cameras, and if you connect to different ports, it will assign a port, an IP to it on its own. So you don't need to start adding IP. So it will add an IP to it by default once you plug it to the PoE port behind it. So it's not going to use the default IP again. So those are the two ways you can get different IPs for the camera instead of having a kind of IP conflict on the network. Okay. Let me start. Start. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Please, I have a question. Is it possible to join two NVR on the same network and have the different camera on the same screen?
Yes. Like the maximum number of cameras that we are saying this application has now is less than 100, but less than 64,
64
on one screen.
On one screen,
so, yes.
So is it possible to have different NVR on the same network to have all the 64 camera on the same screen?
Yes.
Because there is a problem with distance between some seats. That means that we can put one NVR with 16 ports somewhere, another place NVR with 16 ports, because the network cable, the maximum is 100 meters. Now, is it possible to join all the NVR on the same network, then have all the camera on the same screen?
If I have 64 channels to play around with, I can select which channel I want to place. I can drag and drop a camera to a channel. So, and the maximum I can display at the same time is 64.
64, yeah.
If I drag and drop a camera on a particular screen, it should show me that screen. Then I can show 64 on a video wall. So meaning I can have 64 display at the same time.
Okay. It's also possible with DVR.
Yes, I can have DVR and DVRs. trying to show you almost channel screen.
Hello?
Can you hear me? I'm trying to put
Hello?
up a screen so you can see.
Yeah. Hello?
Hello, sir. Just a second.
Okay.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, yes. I've seen it. I've seen it.
If I select this third screen,
Yeah.
we would want to make this class actually a practical class because it's really a practical class. So we want to show you all that you need to know based on the questions that you know that can come out from the training. So this is very important as well.
Lafiya lau.
I love it because you can't hear me.
Is the class over?
The class is not over yet. Hello, sir. So I'm
Yes,
saying, based on the observations of Mr. Isiaka, the Antavis 2.0 can be downloaded without you having any, is not a malware thing around it. So I'm saying your antivirus, depending on the configuration of your antivirus, there are some antivirus that would quarantine some set of files that you have, and it sees it as a threat. So, but you need to get your antivirus security level to allow some applications. For the Antivirus 2.0, we don't have any issue around it. Once you register on our website, you can download the file. Otherwise, if you want us to send it to you, we can send it to you. Okay, I've answered Mr. Abdullah's question. We have one of our cameras up already. So I think you can see they're trying to ask one or two questions. We have those two more questions. Usage is already hitting 100. Six. And Mr. Benjamin. Mr. Benjamin. Hello, good morning, sir. Good morning, Mr. Ben.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Good morning, sir.
The question that the man was asking is that let's assume he has 5 MVR, and let's assume he has 3 MVR. Can it still be the 3 MVR installed on that Antavi 2.0? That was the question. My own understanding, the question the man is having.
Yes.
Let's assume 1 MVR is carried 10 channel, 10 cameras.
Yes.
Can the 3 MVR be installed on that Antavi BVR, Antavi
Yes.
2.0? That was the question I think the man was asking. To my own understanding.
Yes. I've answered that question, sir.
Right.
I said it's possible because from the screen, we are trying to share with you a screen where we have the Antavis application installed on. Because of the resource.
Our network so problem.
Yes.
We understand that. We quite understand that.
You can have, depending on the number of NVRs you have on the network.
Okay.
You can have the NVRs registered, but the number of cameras that can be, maximum number of cameras that can be displayed, yes, is 64. But if you close up the 64 and you want to call up a particular NVR, say 8 channel or 16 channel, you can have the 16 cameras displayed at that point.
Okay. Yeah. It's quite clear now. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Another question? Mr. Jafar. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Godwin.
Yeah, thank you for being part of this program since the beginning, sir.
You are welcome, sir. I appreciate you, sir. So I just maybe want to confirm this. I know that some MVR they have, sorry, some DVR, right? They have facility for accommodating both analog and IP. I would like to know if yours also have the same facility.
That's XVR. You're
Yes,
talking about
DVR.
the hybrid, hybrid DVR.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think yes, we do have hybrid DVRs, and once they are hybrid DVRs, you can change the channel type such that you can aggregate analog cameras and IP cameras on that same hybrid DVR. It's possible.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So we have another.
Hello, Mr. Godwin.
Good morning, sir. Hello, Mr. Samuel. Good
Hello,
morning,
Mr.
sir.
Godwin. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but it's kind of breaking.
All right, I can hear you. Okay. A quick one. Why you were talking the last time, you mentioned something. You can power those cameras when you connect it to your NVR, which also has a PoE port at the back. Now, you brought about a scenario I remembered. I know those ports on the NVR PoE ports are they not embedded in the sense that they give automatically IP addresses to those cameras. Now the question is, there's some system, for instance, now if you are to connect. Hello, are you with me?
I'm with you. I'm with you, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
All right. You know that some NVR, some NVR, when you connect those cameras to those ports, now it gives it automatically an IP address. Now in the case of you linking up those cameras or the NVR to the internet or remote viewing, it requires that sometimes you have to change the IP address of your cameras or the NVR to conform with your the IP address from your service provider. Now, how possible it is for you to change the embedded IP address on those PoE ports? How is it possible? Because I know in some cases
it's possible.
You don't. That is why some persons devise the means of having an external PoE switch.
It's possible, sir. It's possible. Your NVR already has the NVR that you have connected the IP addresses on also have its own software. So if you plug in your monitor, you can have it displayed. So once that is done, each cameras you can now change the IP. If you don't want to use the IP it's assigned to it by default, you can change or modify that IP address to the IP address you want it to be. So it depends on what you want. But for ease of installation, what is actually required is that once you plug in your PoE IP cameras to the PoE port on the NVR, you have it up and running. But if it's a third party, like I said, you need to have it must be OMB compliant, and you must have the password of that camera to add it up to the NVR. The NVR has a feature where you can modify directly from the NVR if you have a monitor connected to your NVR. Hello, sir. Hello. Okay, Mr. Sam.
Yeah, with you. Then lastly,
I can share my.
talking about the. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, I can share my WhatsApp number. I know sometimes network is not too good. I can share my WhatsApp number so you can reach me on my WhatsApp number and for support. Or you need some information around the training we'll be having, you can send. So I'm already sending that to the chat platform. You can get that information.
All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, you are on. Actually, good morning, sir. Hello, Mr. Akinyele, good morning. So, let's last question from the Q&A. Right, I'm trying to check some more questions that we have but we've not answered. Okay, I can see a very vital question. In a situation where when one forgets the login password for the DVR or NVR, what is the solution for password reset? All right, two methods. Firstly, when you are setting up your NVR or DVR, it's advisable to have the admin email configured so that once you forget your password, you can do a forget password command on the password link page, and have the password reset sent to your email. However, if you have not done that, the first aspect, and the second option is to send us the model of your DVR or NVR, and we can get that result for you. So okay, somebody's asking what's the difference between XVR and a DVR and NVR. Ordinary DVR before now can only view one or two formats type of cameras. There are cameras that are just analog based cameras. Now we've had the introduction of analog HD cameras. We have cameras that are having the protocol of TVI, formats. We have the CBI format cameras. We have CVBS type of cameras. So because of compatibility from different brands, what we now have these days is DVR, which have the functionality of decoding the different type of formats. So the different type of formats can only be decoded by DVRs with XVR functionalities. So with XVR, it means it can read the different type of format that your cameras can come with. That means you can have a camera that is ordinary analog. You can have a camera that has AHD format. You can have the TVI format. You can have the CBI format. Like so. In getting your camera, you must also note the type of DVR you are getting. Is it the ordinary DVR that you are going to get a third-party device because of compatibility? So that's the difference. NVR is for IP cameras, DVR is for analog. You'll find the XVR mostly in DVRs. Right? I hope that answers the question. Okay, no, is Antavis. Antavis 2.0 is used to manage on the LAN. But if you must connect via a remote, what you have is you need to get the ZK Biosecurity, ZK Biosecurity 3.0X, ZK Biosecurity. That application is a remote application. You have public IP you can also, that's Mr. Ikechukwu's question. You can find out more. Ask us privately and we'll get. Okay, Mr. Sunday, but I think I've read that earlier. Read that question earlier. So I think Mr. Anila, last question from the hands raised. Mr. Anila. Okay. All right, that brings us to the end of today's class. If you have more information, you can reach us via our support at zkteco-wa.com. If you want to visit, you can send us an email. We would tell you when you can visit the Experience Center, do one or two presentations in the Experience Center with you and show you other products that we have. We'll employ you to also follow us on all our Facebook channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and if you need to reach us on our support, you can use the WhatsApp medium, you can use the email platform as well. So my name is Godswill Omorigbe, and you can reach me, send an email to me if you have any question around ZK Teco products at godswill.omorigbe@zkteco-wa.com. So we get all questions and support requests resolved. So thank you for being part. The class also is recorded and the videos will be shared with us. I've shared the link with us on how to, where to download, and also we'll be sharing information on how to download because we know some people may not be able to get that as well. So if you have any issue around your ZK Teco products, softwares, resources, you can contact us and get that over to you. Thank you for being part of the program. Our test is still holding tomorrow, and we hope all of us get the assessment test link. Please try and get across to us as soon as possible. As we would be holding the test and we won't carry everybody along, we need you to let us know on time if you haven't gotten the link so that we will send it to you. Thank you for being part of the program once again. And also we'll be coming up with some impromptu classes where we need to show you updates on some of these past topics we've taken. So, and we'll see how we can recall or retake some of these classes again. Tests can also be retaken. If you don't pass the first one, you can take tests, or with much more particular about is knowing the functionality of ZK products and you are deploying these simple and easy to use solutions on, at your different client sites. Thank you once again, and hope to see you tomorrow during the test. Have a nice day.